Thank you so much for joining me at another inside look at the cast and crew of the S1Ep movie. I am joined today by Lakin Longoria, who is Marley in the movie. Lakin, thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so Longoria threw me, and I was like, Eva Longoria is what I wanted to say. Are you guys like sisters?
Yeah, we are. No. So she actually, like, we're cousins, but like super distant. I've never met her or anything. But my grandpa did a lot of research on just like the Longoria history. And yeah, we are related, and they're actually really wealthy in Spain. They own like a mountain. There's like a Longoria palace.
What?
Yeah. I want them to just let me stay there.
I was going to say, you need to take a trip to Spain now.
I need to just be like, friends and family discount.
Yeah.
What's up?
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, so then acting is kind of in the blood. So is this something you've always wanted to do?
Yeah, actually, my grandpa was in a band. All of my family are like, they're on my dad's side. They're either like preachers, heavily involved in the church, or do something musically. Like, they all have got a CD.
Oh,
they're
really?
probably the only one without a CD, yeah.
Oh, well, you need to get on it. You need to go make a
working on
CD.
it.
Okay. So let's back up first. Now, you play Marley in the movie, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what elements of Marley, the character, did you really connect with and that you were like, oh yeah, this is for me?
I mean, I've been known to show up at people's homes and stuff. Like, I'm just kidding. I feel like that could easily be me in just like a different situation. I think that her character is a little more kinder than I am. I'm a little more blunt. I feel like she'd had like a much softer side, but I do relate to that a little bit, you know.
Okay.
I'm very blunt and I'm full throttle.
Okay, so I've always wondered when an actor plays another character that has some differences from their personality, do you learn from their personality? Does it change the way you are? And like, do you feel like you mature from it or grow from it?
I think if I maybe did like a bigger movie that involved me to have like a bigger part, depending on like the elements of like their personality and their character, that's definitely possible. But I mean, for this one, I don't think that you know what I mean? It wasn't a type of person that I wasn't like, couldn't be me. I just, I'm just not, that's just not me. But it wasn't, I don't think it like changed me, but I could see that, you know.
So have you done acting before? Like, is this your first experience in a movie or a stage or anything?
It's my first experience in a movie with like cameras and like other adults that like want this vision to come to life, but no.
So you were on the Disney Channel before, right?
Yeah. I thought I was. No, I actually used to make movies and stuff, and then I did theater in high school. I did it in college. I did pageants, and I mean, pageants aren't really acting, but they are. You know, I was a tomboy, and like my mom would like pull me out of the mud, and then I'd get on stage and be like, "This is fun." I mean, it was fun, but like I wouldn't say that. You know, it's a stage. It's a performance.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of always into that kind of stuff. Singing, all the things. I like art, any art like that.
That's awesome.
For me. Yeah.
So now, how did you actually connect to this project specifically?
It's actually really crazy. I don't know any of these people. I mean, I do now, but like a lot of them had already like known each other. I think I sent an email, if I'm mistaken, to somebody. I saw like a post on Facebook. I was told about a Facebook post, and then I went and found it. I think I might have been tagged in it, and I found it, and I just sent an email, and I was like, hey, I want to be a part of this, like, however I can. And they were like, okay, cool. I was like, I'll do anything, like, whatever. And then that was kind of where it was going to be, and they had another actress to play my part. And then something happened where she wasn't able to do it. I think she got a really great opportunity to do something else. And so, yeah, I just kind of
fell into place.
Yeah.
That's excellent. I love that.
Yeah,
okay, so now as you went through the whole movie, and you're a significant character in the movie, what was your favorite scene? Now, don't give any spoilers, of course, but what was your favorite scene to do?
Probably, I think I annoyed everybody, though, actually. Specifically, one time I had the giggles really bad, and it wasn't funny. Like, what was happening wasn't funny, but me and one of the other actors had been practicing in British accents before it was like our turn. And we were just like kind of going rogue with it.
Okay.
We were saying these like ridiculous things. We're like, what are you doing? You know, and then when it came time to do it, and I like actually was like saying the things that I had been saying in a British accent, really crazy. When it came time to do the actual thing, it was very dark scene, and I was just laughing so hard.
That'll break the energy, huh?
It was bad for a minute. Like me and the other actor, we were just like,
That was my fault.
just like the whole time. I mean, I had a really hard time, but then I could feel people being like, stop, you know, like we have to finish this, and then I did it, you know.
Okay, well, then I'm going to ask that you finish this interview in a British accent.
Oh, no. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Okay. Okay, so what was the hardest scene? I mean, maybe that was the hardest scene?
That one, yeah.
Because you had to get it together.
Yeah, I had a really hard time getting it together for that.
That's right. I would imagine that when you've got to get a job done and moments like that hit, and the giggles don't have prejudice. They just hit when they hit.
Yeah, I mean, it was my fault. I shouldn't have been, like, practicing it like that. I should have been practicing it seriously, and I didn't, so.
Okay, well, then that may play into my next question, which would be, what are some life lessons that you learned from doing this movie?
You know, just, like, being dedicated to a project. I mean, you know, like, I had work one time, I think we were like, it was like a Sunday or something that we were filming, and, you know, like, I agreed to do this, and, like, you just have to finish, like, you know, and, like, people are counting on you. Or even when I had the giggles, like, people are counting on me to deliver this and do a good job. Like, this isn't just my dream, it's a bunch of people's dreams. So, I mean, I guess that, but I've been learning that all year.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been, like, the lesson of my year is to just be timely and dedicated to what I'm doing, but
that's awesome.
You know, I had fun.
Okay, well, so now that I'm going to ask kind of a more personal question, a little bit, we're going to go a little deeper here.
Okay.
So what is one of your, let me preface it with this.
Okay.
I don't believe in living in a space of regret. I do believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us, right?
I need to hear this.
Okay, but what would you say is one of your biggest life regrets, and what did you learn from it?
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna be honest. In 2020, I lost someone really close to me, and they had just kind of been making decisions that I didn't agree with, and I wasn't really there for them like I should have been. I kind of just like pulled back because I was like, I don't agree with what you're doing. Like, I don't like that. I don't want to be around it. And then, you know, they ended up dying, and I feel like that's not really how Jesus loves. And that actually sent me on my entire relationship with Jesus and God and my Bible, and totally turned my life around. I mean, even through this opportunity to do the movie and the opportunity I have at my job, like, once I gave my life to God, and that, you know, did all that, and it started off with like a lot of regret. I mean, it was really dark immediately. It wasn't like, oh, this happened and I just gave my life to Jesus. No, that happened. I did a lot of things I regret. The things I wouldn't do now, I should say.
Yeah.
And just through that, God just kind of came on the scene, and pretty much everything I ever wanted kind of fell in my lap. Like, even like, I don't know these people, like, someone a parent at my job, because I'm a teacher, told me about it. I'm a theater teacher, so she was like, hey, you might be interested in this, you know, and I was like, yeah, I am, you know, and it seemed like everything kind of just came together whenever I did that. But to answer the question, I think that if you love somebody and they're not in a good place, like, you don't walk away from that. You pray for them, pray with them, you know, try to get them to go to church. You don't just kind of like turn your back. Kind of how, like, you know, God is with us. He doesn't turn his back on us, you know. He teaches us things and, you know, wants us to draw closer to him. So, I mean, it was pretty wild, but
Wow. And I love that you were able to go to such a vulnerable place. It allowed you to turn to the Lord and learn, and how the Lord has used that for good in your life, even though it wasn't a good experience, but you've been able to grow from it and draw from it.
I mean, I think that's kind of, even when you read the Bible, that's kind of like what happens to everybody, you know, in a different aspect. Like, nobody's perfect. Nobody just was like a perfect, obedient, you know, child of God. I mean, there are some stories where they were, but like Jesus. You know?
He's probably the only one.
Jesus was perfect. But, you know, like, that's just that's what it is, you know. That's kind of what the message in our movie is as well. So
Wow.
it's just been really cool. I don't know, it's just been a really great experience.
That's awesome. So now what would you say, because you kind of tied the movie into it now, just
Mm-hmm.
now, what is your personal connection to the movie and the whole movie experience as far as like the message of it? Would you say that that would be your biggest personal connection?
Pretty much some things happened, and it, you know, caused the main character to kind of start to stray, and then, you know, kind of came back, and that's exactly what happened to me. So
Wow.
yeah, it's been really cool.
Okay, so your character in the movie, I
Mhm.
mean, you just shared, you know, what you feel like you drew from that experience in 2020 of like how to love like Jesus better than maybe what you experienced. And yet it seems like in your movie, and this to me is a picture of how God will go full circle and give us a win where we experienced a pain, is that your character in the movie did what you felt like you didn't do.
Yeah, I actually didn't really realize that, you know. I think I was just so caught up in the fact of just like when you do like make these changes, just the way that God can move in your life when you have like an anointing or a purpose, like it doesn't like he'll move mountains literally, you know. And so it was just really wild to me, just to be in this situation. But yeah, I guess that is true.
That's really neat. I love that. Okay, so given all of this, what would you, looking back, now I don't know how old you are. You look like you're 22, so.
I'm 31.
Whatever. Okay,
Wow.
well, you hold your age great, girl.
Thank you.
So what would you say, looking back to 19-year-old Lakin? What advice would you give 19-year-old Lakin about life?
Hold on, boo. Like, hold on. Like, I definitely, like, there's a lot of, like, now that I'm in, like, different circles, you know, there's a lot of, like, Christians or, you know, people that I meet that were really sheltered and, like, never really, like, have probably even been the places that I've been, you know. When I was 19, I don't think I could talk to me. Like, I don't think there was any, like, getting through. I was one of those people that just kind of has to learn on their own. I don't know what I would say. Like, stop.
You'll figure it out, girl. You'll get there.
And I did, and you will. You know, I think everybody kind of does. You just, God has plans for you, and, like, whatever valleys you have to go down to get to where you're going, you just have to ride them out, you know? I mean, it is what it is. I don't know what I would say to 19-year-old me. Like, I had a good time. I don't know.
That's okay. Okay, so what would you then, now that you've worked on this project, this will be my final question. What would you feel like, as people watch the movie, what would make you feel like this movie was a success?
I just think people, like, supporting us and then us being able to do more projects would be, like, what would feel like a success for me. I really hope that we're able to have more movies and more success, and I hope that next time I do one of these, like, somebody else does my makeup. You know, like, I mean, like, I want to act. I want to, like, go there with it. So I'm just hoping that opens doors for me and everybody involved that wants to do more with this, you know. I'm just hoping God provides for us to be able to do whatever that would feel like the success. I mean, it'd be cool to hear some compliments like, "Whoa, you did good," but I think just having more opportunity is what would make me feel like this was a success.
Okay, and what's the message that you hope that people get from the movie?
I feel like as, like, somebody that is chasing God or has God chasing them, however you want to word that, I hope that it gives them some sort of comfort, like, through their mistakes. Because I think when you're trying to be a certain way, you're going to fail. And sometimes when you do that or you sin and you feel, like, condemned about it, it's so hard to, like, forgive yourself and, like, let it go. Like, you give it to God and you can let it go. I just hope that it gives people that have done some things they're not proud of just, like, hope to just let it go and give it to God and move on.
Yeah.
That's what I would probably say.
That's a good word. And we will end on that. Thank you, Lakin, so much for coming and for sharing your story and for, you were in this movie for a reason. And I know that your story and the role that you played is going to impact somebody. And so I'm proud of you and I'm excited for what the future holds.
Thank you.
And so thank you guys for joining us for another round of Inside Look with the cast and crew from The First Step. Make sure that you guys go check the website out, and then that way you can get on on the email list and stay in touch with what's going on. And maybe you can be a Marley in the next movie. And make sure that you are also following them on social media, and that you also, if you would like to support the movie, as you guys have heard, this is crowdfunded, and the dream needs legs. And so if you want to help give it legs, you can do that by connecting with the team. Go to the website, and you can give through PayPal. And we will see you guys in the next interview.